Chapter 1. Cover. This e-book is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away, or reuse it under the terms at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this e-book. Title: How to Get Rich. Author: Anonymous. Release date: May 11, 2021. E-book #65322. Most recently updated October 18, 2024. Language: English. Other information and formats: www.gutenberg.org/ebook/65322. Credits: Demian Katz, Craig Kirkwood, and the online distributed proofreading team at https://www.pgdp. Net images courtesy of the Digital Library at Villanova University, Multum in Parvo Library. Entered at Post Office as second-class matter. Vol. I. August 1894. Published monthly. No. 8. How to Get Rich. Smallest magazine in the world. Subscription price 50 CTS per year. Single copies 5 cents each. Published by A. B. Courtney, 671 Tremont Street, Boston. How to Get Rich. Valuable money-making secrets. These recipes have sold for $5 each and have been the foundations of many good-sized fortunes. This collection of recipes and formulas for making various articles which are in constant use in every household are, for the most part, articles upon which very large profits are made, both by manufacturers and dealers. Some things, which cost but 2 or 3 cents to make, being retailed for as much as 25 cents. We point out to you the proper method to be pursued in the manufacture of these various articles, and expect you to use your own judgment and discretion in the matter of putting them up for market and exposing them for sale. The goods, when ready for market, may be sold either direct to consumers at retail or to storekeepers at wholesale. Those who adopt the former method may canvass from house to house, or establish a store and sell therefrom. The various ingredients required to compound all the different articles for which recipes are here given may be purchased at wholesale drug and grocery stores in any of the large cities. Large fortunes have been made upon the manufacture of single articles, for which recipes are here given, and there is no reason why anyone may not acquire a competency in the same way, providing he has the necessary push and sagacity. Here is an opportunity to be your own manufacturer, your own wholesaler, and your own retailer. Given these advantages, you may undersell those in the ordinary channels of trade and still make handsome profits, and we trust that the information herein contained may be the means of starting many a poor person toward making a fortune or a good income. Black ink. Ink, like soap, is something everybody uses, and few people realize that thousands of barrels of it are made and sold. Recipe for making the best and most durable black writing ink, as used by the leading penmen of the United States and Canada. To 2 gallons of strong decoction of logwood well strained, add 1/2 pounds. Blue galls in coarse powder, 6 ounces. Sulfate of iron, 1 oz. Acetate of copper, 6 oz. Of pulverized sugar, and 8 oz. Of gum arabic. Set the above on the fire until it begins to boil, strain, and then set it away until it has acquired the desired blackness. The strong decoction of logwood is made by boiling. Use soft water into which put 2 ounces of logwood. Strain after taking from the fire. The above ink properly made, according to the above directions, is unsurpassed for elegant writing of any kind. It flows freely from the pen, turns to a deep black after writing, and does not fade. Records written with it 50 years ago are as legible as the day they were put upon the paper. Fig candy. Take 1 pound of sugar and 1 pint of water. Set over a slow fire. When done, add a few drops of vinegar and a lump of butter and pour into pans in which split figs are laid. Red sealing wax. Purchase 4 pounds. Shellac 1/2 pounds. Venice turpentine 3 pounds. Finest cinnabar and 4 Oz. Venetian, mix the whole well together and melt over a very slow fire. Pour it on a thick, smooth glass or any other flat, smooth surface and make it into 3, 6, or 10 sticks. Silver ink. Mix 1 Oz of the finest pewter or block tin in shavings with 2 Oz. Quicksilver till all becomes fluid. Then add to it sufficient gum Arabic water to produce the proper consistency. Yellow ink. A little alum added to saffron in soft, hot water makes a beautiful yellow ink. Mucilage for labels. Dextrine 2 ounces, glycerine 1 drachm, alcohol 1 ounce, water 6 ounces. The celebrated chemical compound. Take 1 pint of alcohol, 2 gills nitrous spirits ether 2 Oz, bichromate potash 2 Oz, powdered cinnamon 2 Oz, aquafortis. Mix all the above together and let it stand 24 hours and it is fit for use. Bottle in ounce vials and sell for 25 cents. To extract grease stains, etc., from cloth, saturate with cold water, dip a sponge in the liquid and apply it and repeat if necessary and wash off with cold water. Gold ink. 2 pots mosaic, 1 pot gum Arabic by measure. Mix with soft water until reduced to a proper condition. Green ink. Powder 1 ounce verdigris and put it in 1 quart of vinegar. After it has stood 2 or 3 days, strain off the liquid. Blue ink. 2 Oz. Chinese blue 3/4 Oz. Pure oxalic acid 1 Oz. Powdered gum Arabic 6 pints distilled soft water, mix well and then strain. Purple ink. 8 pots logwood in 64 pots soft water by measure, boil down to 1/2, then strain and add 1 pot chloride of tin. Imitation gold. 16 pots platina, 7 pots copper, 1 pot zinc. Put in a covered crucible with powdered charcoal and melt together till the whole forms one mass and are thoroughly incorporated together. Or take 4 Oz. Platina 3 Oz. Silver 1 Oz. Copper, imitation silver. 11 ounces refined nickel, 2 ounces metallic bismuth. Melt the compositions together 3 times and pour them out in lay. The third time, when melting, add 2 ounces pure silver. Or take 1/4 ounce copper, 1 ounce bismuth, 2 ounces saltpeter, 2 ounces common salt, 1 ounce arsenic, 1 ounce potash, 2 ounces brass, and 3 ounces pure silver. Melt all together in a crucible. Florida water. 1/2 pint proof spirits, 2 drachms oil lemon, 1/2 drachm oil rosemary. Mix. Freckle lotion. Muriate of ammonia 1 drachm. Cologne water 2 drachms. Distilled water 7 ounces. Mix and use as a wash. It contains nothing injurious. Windsor soap. This is made with lard. In France they use lard, with a portion of olive or bleached palm oil. It is made with 1 pot of olive oil to 9 of tallow, but a greater part of what is sold is only curd tallow soap, and scented with oil of caraway and bergamot. The brown is colored with burnt sugar or umber, to make maple sugar without maple trees. Though the secret I am about to reveal may seem very simple when explained, I believe there are few who would discover it of their own accord. The value of the maple sugar crop is considerable, and there is ready sale for all that can be made. I was led by curiosity to boil down a little butternut sap, one time, with an equal quantity of maple sap, and the result was a sugar which I could not distinguish from pure maple. I experimented further and found that if a little common cane sugar was added to the sap of the butternut, it would do as well as an addition of maple sap. I found that the sap of birch and several other trees would also make, when a very little cane sugar was added, a sugar which in looks and taste exactly resembled maple. To be able to make maple sugar from trees not heretofore deemed valuable for the purpose is just so much clear profit. Traveler's ink. White blotting paper is saturated with aniline black, and several sheets are pasted together so as to form a thick pad. When required for use, a small piece is torn off and covered with a little water. The black liquid which dissolves out is a good writing ink. A square inch of paper will produce enough ink to last a considerable writing, and a few pads would be all that an exploring party need carry with them. As water is always available, the ink is readily made. This is a perfectly original and new recipe. Any enterprising man can make a large income out of its manufacture. Violet ink, 1 Oz. Best violet aniline. Dissolve it in 1 gill of hot alcohol, stir, and when thoroughly dissolved add 1 gallon of boiling hot water. Dissolve in the hot water 1/2 Oz. White gum Arabic. This will make the most rich and beautiful ink of this color in existence, will not fade or corrode steel pens, and is not injured by freezing. An addition of 1 lb. of sugar and 1/2 lb. glycerine will make an excellent copying ink. This ink is usually sold at $2 per pint bottle, $1 for half pint and 50 cents for gill bottle. It is worth an enterprising man or woman $1,000. Do not bury it, use it and make money out of it. New York Barbers Star Hair Oil. Castor oil, 6 1/2 pints alcohol, 1/2 pints oil of citronella, 1/2 ounce lavender, 1/4 ounce. Mix well, put in 4-ounce bottles. Retail at 25 cents each. Furniture polish. Equal parts sweet oil and vinegar and a pint of gum Arabic finely powdered. Shake the bottle and apply with a rag. It will make furniture look as good as new. Artificial gold. This is a new metallic alloy which is now very extensively used in France as a substitute for gold. Pure copper, 100 parts. Zinc, or preferably tin, 17 parts. Magnesia, 6 parts. Sal ammoniac, 3/6 parts. Quicklime, 1/8 part. Tartar of commerce, 9 parts, are mixed as follows. The copper is first melted, and the magnesia, sal ammoniac, lime, and tartar are then added separately, and by degrees in the form of powder. The whole is now briskly stirred for about half an hour so as to mix thoroughly, and when the zinc is added in small grains by throwing it on the surface, and stirring till it is entirely fused, the crucible is then covered, and the fusion maintained for about 35 minutes. The surface is then skimmed, and the alloy is ready for casting. It has a fine grain, is malleable, and takes a splendid polish. It does not corrode readily, and for many purposes is an excellent substitute for gold. When tarnished, its brilliancy can be restored by a little acidulated water. If tin be employed instead of zinc, the alloy will be more brilliant. It is very much used in France, and must ultimately attain equal popularity here. Baking powder. The following receipt is the same as used in the preparation of the standard baking powders of the day, and if put up attractively will sell readily at the usual prices. Take 1 pound of tartaric acid in crystals, 1/2 pounds of bicarbonate of soda, and 1/2 pounds of potato starch. Each must be powdered separately, well dried by slow heat, well mixed through a sieve. Pack hard in tin foil, tin or paper glazed on the outside. The tartaric acid and bicarbonate of soda can, of course, be bought cheaper of wholesale druggists than you can make them, unless you are doing things on a very large scale. But potato starch anyone can make. It is only necessary to peel the potatoes and to grate them up fine into vessels of water, to let them settle, pour off the water and make the settlings into balls, and to dry them. With these directions, anyone can make as good a baking powder as is sold anywhere. If he wants to make it very cheap, he can take cream of tartar and common washing, carbonate of soda, instead of the articles named in the recipe, but this would be advisable only where customers insist on excessively low prices in preference to quality of goods. Babbitt's Premium Soap. 5 gallons of strong lye, 5 gallons of water, 5 pounds of tallow, 2 pounds of sal soda, half a pound of rosin, 1 pint salt, 1 pint washing fluid. Let this water boil, then put in the articles and boil half an hour. Stir it well while boiling and then run it into molds. It will be ready for use as soon as cold. The above is for 100 pounds of soap. Royal washing powder. Mix any quantity of soda ash with an equal quantity of carbonate of soda, ordinary soda, crushed into coarse grains. Have a thin solution of glue or decoction of linseed oil ready, into which pour the soda until quite thick. Spread it out on boards in a warm apartment to dry. As soon as dry, shake up well so that it will pack easily into nice, square packages. Label neatly. Pound packages cost 7 cents, retail for 25 cents. Patent starch Polish. Take common dry potato or wheat starch, sufficient to make a pint of starch when boiled. When boiled, add 1/2 drachm spermaceti and 1/2 drachm of white wax, then use it as common starch, only using the iron as hot as possible. Invisible ink. Sulfuric acid 1 part, water 20 parts. Mix together and write with a quill pen, which writing can only be read after heating it. Fine peppermint lozenges. Best powdered white sugar, 7 pounds. Pure starch, 1 pound. Oil of peppermint to flavor. Mix with mucilage. India ink. Ivory black ground into powder, make into a paste with a few drops of essence of musk and 1/2 as much essence of ambergris, and then form into cakes. To preserve flowers in water. Mix a little carbonate of soda in the water, and it will keep the flowers a fortnight. Ginger lozenges. Mix with the white of eggs 4 ounces of powdered ginger, 2 pounds of white sugar, and 1 pound of starch. To restore the color of black kid boots. Take a small quantity of good black ink, mix it with the white of an egg, and apply it to the boots with a soft sponge. Color for wicker baskets or any small articles of the kind. Dissolve 1 stick of black sealing wax and 1 stick of red in 2 ounces of spirits of wine. Lay it on with a small brush to remove stains from books. To remove ink spots, apply a solution of oxalic, citric, or tartaric acid. To remove spots of grease, wax, oil, or fat, wash the injured part with either and place it between white blotting paper. Then with a hot iron press above the part stained. To clean black veils. Pass them through a warm liquor of bullock's gall and water. Rinse in cold water. Then take a small piece of glue, pour boiling water on it and pass the veil through it. Clap it and frame to dry. Instead of framing, it may be fastened with drawing pins closely fixed upon a very clean paste or drawing board. To clean a marble chimney piece. If the marble is white, procure half a pound of pearlash, 1 pound of whiting, and half a pound of soft soap. Boil all these ingredients together until they attain the consistence of a thick paste. When nearly cold, lay it upon the marble and let it remain on it for at least 24 hours. Wash it off with soft water and polish with linen rags. Spirits of turpentine is excellent for cleaning black marble. Oil stains in silk and other fabrics. Benzene is most effectual not only for silk but for any other material whatever. It can be procured from any druggist. By simply covering both sides of greased silk with magnesia and allowing it to remain for a few hours, the oil is absorbed by the powder. Should the first application be insufficient, it may be repeated and even rubbed in with the hand. Should the silk be tussa or Indian silk, it will wash. Scarlet ink. Dissolve 1 oz. Garancine of the best quality in 1 oz. Liquor ammonia. Add 1 pint soft cold water distilled. Mix together in a mortar, filter and dissolve in it 1/2 oz. Of gum arabic. Luminous ink. Shines in the dark, phosphorus 1/2 drachm, oil cinnamon 1/2 oz. Mix in a vial, cork tightly, heat it slowly until mixed. A letter written with this ink can only be read in a dark room when the writing will have the appearance of fire. Brown ink. Take 4 parts powdered catechu and put it in 6 parts soft water. Let it stand for half a day, shaking occasionally, then strain, and to bring it to the proper consistency, add sufficient of a solution of bichromate of potash, 1 part in 16 of water, all by measure. Ink powder. 1 pound of nut gall, 7 ounces copperas, 7 ounces gum arabic. This amount of ink powder will make 1 gallon of good black ink. To prevent it from molding, powder 2 or 3 cloves and mix with each pound of powder. Excelsior hair oil. 1 gallon cologne spirits 90%. Proof. Add of the oil of lemon, orange, and bergamot, each a spoonful. Add also of the extract of vanilla 40 drops. Shake until the oils are cut up, then add 1½ pints of soft water. Commercial writing ink. Galls 1 ounce, gum 1/2 ounce, cloves 1/2 ounce, sulfate of iron 1/2 ounce, water 8 ounces. Digest by frequent shaking until it has sufficient color. This is a good durable ink and will bear diluting. Indelible ink. For marking linen without preparation. Nitrate of silver 1/2 oz. Dissolve in 6 oz. Of liquor ammonia 40s, Achil for coloring 1 oz. Gum mucilage 12 ounces, the best extant. Bristol's tooth powder. Prepared chalk 1 pound, castile soap 1/2 pound, powdered yellow bark 2 ounces, powdered gum myrrh 2 ounces, powdered loaf sugar 2 ounces, powdered orris 2 ounces. Mix well, after having first pulverized the castile. Cold cream. 1 pound of lard, 3 ounces of spermaceti. Melt with a gentle heat, and when cooling stir in orange flower water 1 ounce, essence of lavender 26 drops, to make paint for 1 cent a pound. To 1 gallon of soft hot water add 4 pounds sulfate of zinc crude. Let it dissolve perfectly, and a sediment will settle at the bottom. Turn the clear solution into another vessel. To 1 gallon of paint, lead, and oil. Mix 1 gallon of the compound. Stir into it the paint slowly for 10 or 15 minutes, and the compound and the paint will perfectly combine. If too thick, thin it with turpentine. This receipt has been sold to painters as high as $100 for the privilege to use the same in their business. Almond cream. There is nothing equal to this cream for softening and whitening the hands. Mix honey, almond meal, and olive oil into a paste to be used after washing with soap. Castile soap is best for use. It will cure a scratch or cut and prevents any spot. Cream of roses. Take 1 teacupful of rose water, as much subcarbonate of potash as will lie on a shilling, and ½ an ounce of oil of sweet almonds. Let all be well shaken together until it becomes thoroughly mixed, which will take some time. This is one of the best face washes made and is entirely harmless. Excellent pomade. 3 ounces of olive oil, 3/4 of a drachm of the oil of almonds, 2 drachms of palm oil, ½ an ounce of white wax, 1/4 of a pound of lard, and 3/4 of a drachm of the essence of bergamot. This pomade is excellent for strengthening the hair, promoting the growth of whiskers and mustaches, and preventing baldness. Superior cologne water. Alcohol 1 gallon. Add oil of cloves, lemon, nutmeg, and bergamot, each 1 drachm. Oil narrowly, 3½ drachms. 7 drops of oils of rosemary, lavender, and cassia. ½ a pint of spirits of nitre. ½ a pint of elderflower water. Let it stand a day or two, then take a colander and at the bottom lay a piece of white cloth and fill it up, 1/4 of white sand, and filter through it. Family salve. Take the root of the yellow dock and dandelion, equal parts. Add good proportion of celandine and plantain. Extract the juices by steeping or pressing. Strain carefully and simmer the liquid with sweet cream or fresh butter and mutton tallow, or sweet oil and mutton tallow. Simmer together until no appearance of the liquid remains. Before it is quite cold, put it into boxes. This is one of the most soothing and healing preparations for burns, scalds, cuts, and sores of every description. Japanese cement. Immediately mix the best powdered rice with a little cold water, then gradually add boiling water until a proper consistency is acquired, being particularly careful to keep it well stirred all the time. Lastly, it must be boiled for a minute in a clean saucepan or earthen pipkin. This glue is beautifully white and almost transparent, for which reason it is well adapted for fancy paper work, which requires a strong and colorless cement. Transcriber's note: use of to represent division in some expressions is standardized to /. Updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed, creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. Copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation and you can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules set forth in the general terms of use part of this license apply to copying and distributing project and may not be used if you charge for an e-book, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use copies of this e-book. Complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this e-book for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances, and research. Project Gutenberg e-books may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with e-books not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Full license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work. Distribution of electronic works by using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg. You agree to comply with all the terms of the full www. Gutenberg.org/license. Electronic works. Electronic work. You indicate that you have read, understand, agree to, and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1. 8. Used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few, even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1. See below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg electronic works if you follow the terms of this electronic works. See paragraph 1. Below. Foundation or PGLAF owns a compilation copyright in the collection. Works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying, or creating derivative works based on the work as long as works, in compliance with the terms of this agreement, for keeping the comply with the terms of this agreement, by keeping this work in the you share it without charge with others. 1. D. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing, or creating derivative works based on this work, or any representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1. 1. The following sentence with active links to or other performed, viewed, copied, or distributed. This e-book is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away, or reuse it under the terms at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this e-book, derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder. The work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1. 1 through 1. 7 or trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1. 8 or 1. 9. With the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1, 1 through 1, 7, and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. License terms from this work or any files containing a part of this one. 5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute, or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1. 1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg license. 1. E6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, mocked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official www.gutenberg.org, you must at no additional cost, fee, or expense to the user provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the 1. E7. Do not charge a fee for access to viewing displaying unless you comply with paragraph 1. E8 or 1. E9. 1. E8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from you already used to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing or by email within 30 days of receipt that /he license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue works you provide, in accordance with paragraph 1. F3. A full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free. 1. E9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing forth in Section 3 below. 1. Effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the project electronic works and the medium on which they may be stored may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate, or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1. F2. Limited warranty. Disclaimer of damages except for the right of replacement or refund, described in paragraph 1. F3. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs, and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty, or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1. F3. You agree that the foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive, or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1. F3. Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you receive the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you receive the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1. F. 4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1. F3. This work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1. F5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1. F6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this defect you cause. Electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged, and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure archive foundation and how your efforts and donations can help. See sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org 501. C. 3. Educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's EIN, or Federal Tax Identification Archive Foundation, are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 41 Watchung Plaza, 516, Montclair, NJ 07042, USA, +1 862 621 to 9288. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact Literary Archive Foundation. Public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform, and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork, and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and volunteer support editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the U.S., unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep e-books in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org, Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new e-books, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new e-books.